Well, today I'm going to speak a little bit about gossiping. I'm going to speak on what gossiping produce. You know, when you go around gossiping, how it can separate you from others. It can cause you to have anxiety because of what you said to somebody else. It might say it to somebody else. But you know, back there in Romans, it tells us, in Romans 9, it tells us not to be whisperers. Whisperers actually is a person that goes around gossiping. And gossiping usually is when you're going around talking about somebody else. Also in Romans, they talk about backbiters. But usually when you're gossiping, normally a lot of times you are being a backbiter. And from being a backbiter, that means that you are talking bad about somebody behind their back, which then can lead on to slander. So then you go around slandering somebody, you know, making false statement about people, destructive statement about people, putting them down because of gossiping. So God don't want you to be out here gossiping because it is destructive. Not only is it destructive to the other person, it also destructive to you. Because a lot of times when you go around gossiping or talking about someone and you commonly having this regular conversation between you and someone else, and then when you see the person that you was gossiping about and maybe backbiting about through your gossiping and slandering about through your gossiping and lying about through your gossiping, and then when you see that person, you get all nervous, you get all frustrated, you get robbed from your joy, you get robbed from your peace because of your own gossiping. But see, God don't want you gossiping because God created you to come to Him so that you can have joy, so you can have peace, so that you can have comfort. You know, that's why in John He said, let not your heart be troubled. So, how can you not let your heart be troubled when you're constantly putting yourself in a problem situation? So therefore, he don't want you to do that because He wants you to build instead of destroy. And then when you talk about slandering, just slandering and particularly by yourself, that's when you know that you are really just making a false statement about someone. A false statement about someone. A deceitful statement about someone. A lying statement about someone to degrade them, to make them try to look like something that you want them to look like when they're not even laying like that. So otherwise, you're going around feeling a lot of deception to people about somebody else. And that ain't what us as Christians supposed to do. We ain't supposed to go around destroying someone. We're supposed to be going around edifying someone. And I mean, you do it among yourself within the church. You slander about one person, the other person slander about somebody else, then you get all this envy is going on in the church and one person looking down on another person. Instead of edifying one another, you're destroying one another. And as a brother and sister in Christ, we're supposed to edify one another. We're supposed to build each other up. That's why gospel cannot be, not only in the church, but among Christian brothers and sisters, period. It shouldn't be, period. You know, this is something that God does. That's something that God detests. You know, and not only do gossip also produces rumors. And when you build up rumors produces problems because rumors normally are lies. And when lies get out, lies build, lies spread, you know. Because when you gossip to somebody about one thing, you might have said something to that person, then that person might say it to somebody else, but they take it to another level and put their little bit in there, you understand, to increase it, to make it sound a little better, to draw attention, and then it become another lie building up on another lie. And that all comes from gossiping. And then in Proverbs, it's a verse in Proverbs where it said where slandering can lead to you losing your best friend. Because a lot of time, the people that you slander about is only about the people you know. That's who you will lie on. You won't lie on nobody else because you don't know nothing about nobody else. And usually slandering or gossiping derives from envy, jealousy, pride. Because when you want to be prideful, when you're prideful, you really want to be better than everybody else. So therefore, the only way that I can put this person down, I got to put a little slender in my gospel, so that I can look good and the other person can look bad, because I'm trying to put the attention on me. That's what pride do for you. That's why God don't want you to be prideful, because being prideful can destroy you. Not only that, it can destroy your relationship with others. But when you're humble, a humble person is not going to be a gossiper, because a humble person wants to be kind. A humble is a kind person, a respectable person, an honorable person. I know some people look at humble and say soft, but no, that ain't what humble is. Humble is a generous person. Humble's got a lot of good character to it, and that's the type of character that he wants us to have. But if you're a gossiper, there's no way you can be a humble person, because you're going around spreading rumors, you're going around lying on people, you putting people down, you know. I mean, gospel is so bad that they even talk bad about God through gospel. So, you know, that's not a good look. That's not what God wants. You know, I mean, some people destroy their own relationships through gospeling, because they go gospel about what's going on in their house with their woman or whatever to somebody else. Then that person take it to somebody else, and the next thing you know, there go a marriage. A marriage got destroyed through gospel. The marriage got destroyed through a little slandering. The marriage got destroyed because of rumors. So that's why you don't want gospel in your life. It can destroy your best friend. It can separate you from your best friend. It can destroy your marriage. It can destroy your relationship between you and your children. So that's why you don't want us to gospel, because it's just too doggone destructive. He wants you to grow in peace. He wants you to grow in kindness. Even in James, he said one that can control his tongue, control his whole body. But if you're a gossiper, I would have to tell you that you cannot control your tongue. And by you not being able to control your tongue, a lot of deception and things is going to come out. A lesson if you're a gossiper. But if you got a pure heart and you working with God, and then gospel is going to stop, but the truth is going to come out. So, some gospel can be positive, because when you gospel about God to somebody, when you gossip about God or sit around and have a conversation about God with somebody, and you're talking about the righteousness and the fullness of God and lifting people up, that's the kind of rumor you want to get out. That's the kind of rumor you want to be carried, because that's edifying God. That's lifting up Jesus Christ, you know. But that negative gospel that a lot of us like to do out of envy, out of pride, out of jealousy, or just because we got low self-esteem or something like that, and then you want to go put somebody else down to try to lift yourself up. That ain't what he wants. That ain't what a Christian should do. That's why gospel, backbiting, has got to stop. And also from gospel, really produce lies. Lies on top of 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 lies. Matter of fact, I would say endless lies. It's going to be lies on top of lies until the gospel is stopped. Because when you gospel to somebody else and somebody else gospel to somebody else, all it's going to do is add lies, add lies, add lies, add lies, and there ain't nothing but a whole thing of deception. Before you get done with it, it has no truth in it at all. And whoever that gospel was about or that slandering was about, they done put that person down so bad. All because of the tongue. All because of evil speaking. That's what gospel do. A lot of it was evil speaking. And that is not what us as Christians should do. We should walk in love. When we talk, we should talk about love. When we talk, we should talk about kindness. When we talk, We should talk about how you can keep your relationship together, how to help you keep your family life together, how to help you build on what you get, how to help you manage your finance, instead of talking about, look at that old bum over there, that dude don't even know how to handle his money. Now see, that's gospel, and that's putting somebody down, because once you tell that person, then that person's going to tell that person, all we doing is putting somebody down. That's what gospel do. That was just a good line of showing you what gospel is, but that ain't what God wrote. He wants edification. He wants you to lift somebody up. He wants you to bring them up instead of tear them down. So let's stop gospel. Let's stop gospel. Because also one thing else, before I cut this short, one thing else about gospel. If you a gospeler, you need your heart checked. Because you probably got a little hatred in your heart. You probably got a little envy in your heart. You probably got a little jealousy in your heart. You probably got a little pride in your heart. Because all this leads to gospel. So that means when you get done with it, it's all about the heart. That means something in your heart ain't right. And we need to work on praying to God to getting it out of our heart so that we can get it right, so that we can cut that evil out. You know, that's what we got to do. It's a hard issue. As he said, it's not what goes into the mouth that defiles a man, but it's what comes out of the mouth that defiles a man, because it comes from the heart of man. And that's where gossiping comes from, the heart of man. That's where envy comes from, the heart of man. That's where pride comes from, the heart of man. That's where jealousy comes from, the hearts of man. And them things can produce gossip. And from that gossiping, they produce rumors. And from gossiping, they become backbiters. And from gossiping, they become slanderers. And from gossiping, they become liars. And all that should be, and all that is a heart issue. And then it comes out into the natural world. And then it's going to affect someone. It's going to hurt someone. And that ain't what we do. And not only is it going to hurt someone, in the process, it's going to hurt you too. Because what you plant is what you reap. So it's going to come back on you too. So, just for this little simple thing this morning, all I can say is, quit gossiping. Learn to control your tongue. James said, be slow to speak. Be slow to speak and quick to listen. You understand? Take a self-examination of yourself and see what's inside of you. And get your life right. You know, just like Jesus said, don't worry about the plank in the other person's eye, and you got a plank in your own eyes. Because if you take that plank out your eyes, then you won't have a problem more than likely with the other person, and therefore there probably would be no gossiping. So take care of yourself first. And for you that does not know Jesus Christ, I say today is a good day of salvation and a good time for you to come to him and let him be the Lord of your life. I know he works for me. Today, he's still building me up. I always remember where I was. That's why I'm so grateful to where I'm at and to where I'm going. And it's all because of Jesus Christ. I thank you, Jesus, for dying on the cross and shedding your blood for me. And I tell the other people out there that you should do the same. And all you that hear this video, I want you to know that I love you. I want you to know that God got his best interest for you. And I think that you should come to him. But please, quit being gossipers. Quit being backbiters. Quit being slanderers. And quit being liars. And learn to love. And learn to live in love. And learn to edify, learn to encourage, learn to give strength to others, learn to lift them up instead of put them down, because that's what God do for us. If God lift us up, that's what God expects us to lift others up too. So with that, I say have a good day.